Hey, what's up, guys? Myself, Fredo Cervantes, here on this beautiful Tuesday afternoon, February the 28th, the last day of the month. But guess what? These are the breaks.
These
are the breaks.
These are the breaks.
You know what it is.
And welcome, guys, to These Are the Breaks with myself, Fredo Cervantes. And believe it or not, we are going to have an interesting second part of the NBA season. We have two big breakout injuries that happened over the weekend here and early this week, with LaMelo Ball going out with the right ankle. He fractured it. It is very bad. They do not know if he will return for the remainder of this season for the Charlotte Hornets after being on the 4-game winning streak. But another one that hit, and it hit hard here in Los Angeles, was LeBron James after injuring his ankle on Sunday's afternoon victory in Dallas against Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. LeBron James seems to be hurt, and not just slightly hurt, but he's breaking down. And this is the time that, as a basketball fan, you kind of have to appreciate the greatness of LeBron James and the greatness that he's been able to do and maintain his body at a certain condition in order to compete at this level after being in the league for 20 years. But we are near the end of LeBron James's career. This is coming towards the end right now. And believe it or not, guys, you are not going to see another player like LeBron James ever on the basketball court. Right now, I can kind of just sit down and think like, wow, I remember how great LeBron James was in 2014, 2015, 2017, even 2020 when he was with the Lakers and won the NBA championship in the bubble. That's not the LeBron James that we have here today. That is definitely not the LeBron James we are going to have after today. Earlier this morning, the reports came out LeBron James will be out for several weeks after these MRIs continue to come out with more specifics in regarding his ankle and how crucial it's going to be for the remaining 20 games of the regular season. Can the Lakers, that's the biggest question of them all, can the Lakers make it to the playoffs after not being there for a few years in a row? You know, the Lakers are currently 29-32. And the Dallas Mavericks are 32-32. So which kind of makes you think like, well, they're only about 3.5 games behind the Dallas Mavericks. They can very, very much make the playoffs this season, even with LeBron James missing quite some time here. I don't believe so. The Lakers are done. There is no way that the Lakers are going to make the playoffs or even make the play-in this situation with this roster they got right now. We cannot rely on Anthony Soft Davis to take over the rest of the season. The moment he tries to step onto the pedal and go a little stronger, he's going to break his ankle. He's going to hurt his hamstring. It is something that we expect from Anthony Davis. I forget when was the last time that Anthony Davis finished the season healthy, where he's capable of walking on the court. You know, it is very important for the Lakers to look at what the future might look like, because I personally believe so. And I for the people that know me and know Money Mike, which you can catch Money Mike on the Profanity Nation podcast every Sunday night, 8:30 Pacific. But he's always been on the bull. Well, the Lakers got to trade LeBron. The Lakers got to do this with LeBron. You know, I now feel that the Lakers do need to trade LeBron. You know, at the end of the day, you got to look at what's better for your team, whether it's for the business side of it or for the basketball side of it. In this case right now, it's maybe not the best move for business, because we see and we know how much attention LeBron James brings to this city and to this team. With how him being in this city and this team, the Lakers are not going to be getting that much attention throughout the years. And we've seen that happen between 2016, 2017. Those years were very bad, very awful. You know, Lakers were at the very, very bottom. Genie Bus got us out of the bottom, but now it's kind of taking us back in there. It seems like the Lakers, if they can move on from LeBron James, if they can trade LeBron James this offseason, he's going to have 2 years remaining in his contract that he signed the extension to 3-year over this past summer. If LeBron James gets traded, just imagine the number of picks, the number of talent that we might get back to this team, especially keeping the players that we already have right now. And just imagine as well, as a Laker fan, just imagine if they trade LeBron and they actually trade Anthony Davis. Look at what they can do. This is like when the Boston Celtics in 2013 traded Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, and Kevin Garnett. Look at what they did for their future moving forward. Yeah, a lot of people thought they were crazy in trading Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce to Brooklyn for Joe Johnson and whoever else they gave away, but they were looking at the future. They were able to get that third pick in the 2017 NBA draft, which ended up being Jason Tatum. They ended up getting that 5th overall pick in 2014 in Marcus Smart. They get the other pick in 2018 in Jaylen Brown. They just getting picks, and look at him now. They're young and the best team in the NBA right now. You need to see, I understand Los Angeles, you have to be here, and there's all that pressure. There's a lot of pressure in winning. Whether you're the Lakers, whether you're the LA Kings, whether you're the Anaheim Ducks, the Anaheim Angels, who have some pressure into doing some work this offseason with Shohei Ohtani. But every single LA team, even the LAFC football club, just won the MLS championship a few months ago here in LA. They just won a championship. The LA Galaxy wins championships. The LA Sparks win championships. The Dodgers win championships. I don't know if I can put the Clippers in the same sentence, but they're somewhere in there winning maybe banners, selfie banners that they like to put up, because they're clearly 1 year out. They got one more year in their lease at the Crypto.com arena. But with that being said, the Lakers do have to move on from these pieces in order to maybe have a brighter future, because I can see it right now. 2027, 2028 might be the worst years in Laker history. It might just be. But we're not looking at that right now. We're all just in the moment right now. We're in the moment of LeBron James. Oh, how great he is. So, with that being said, start saying your goodbyes. Start thinking about future without LeBron James here in Los Angeles. Because I clearly think that might be the best case scenario for Jeannie Buss and the Lakers. So I hopefully wish that Rob Pelinka can really do some magic this offseason. I understand the relationship you got with Clutch Sports. It seems like Clutch Sports kind of runs his team at times. Or is it LeBron James himself? But LeBron James is at the end of his career. This is when, like, Tom Brady won his last championship with the Buccaneers. It just seemed like after that, nothing else is good going to come out from Tom Brady. Nothing else is good. Even though I just heard the other day that Tom Brady might be coming back again. So I'm not too happy to go ahead and see that. But that is something interesting to go ahead and look at and what the future might look here in Los Angeles. But it seems like the future is looking a little bit brighter and just sunnier, shinier up in the Los Angeles Clipper world, because it seems like with the new player in Russell Westbrook coming into the lineup here, the Clippers are currently, you can look at them right now, they're 0-2 with Russell Westbrook in the starting lineup. Yeah, they lost a devastating game, a big game Friday night at the Crypto.com arena. The first game after the All-Star week, the Sacramento Kings came into the Crypto.com arena. Malik Monk and the Aaron Fox, both of those two guys dropped 45 apiece on the Clippers in double overtime, win 176-175. Just a crazy game. What I saw in Russell Westbrook on Sunday night in the second game with the Clippers as a starter, the Clippers do not look like the Clippers we saw early this season. You look at how great the Clippers were kind of looking at prior to this game and this second part of the season. You still had a guy like Reggie Jackson. You had Nicholas Batum hitting his shots. You have that Ivica Zubac, who's been hurt right now. Maybe the reason why the Clippers lost the first two games after the All-Star break, because Ivica Zubac was not in the lineup. But you look at Kawhi Leonard and Paul George finally being out of the restriction zone. They're no longer being restricted by minutes and by, I guess you can look at them as being Mr. Load Management. They're no longer hurt, and they're no longer being in that level of having to worry about those guys playing any tough minutes. They're playing 45 minutes a game. That's the minutes that Ty Lue is putting on Kawhi Leonard and Paul George that is not going to live up to their expectations, especially with the way Russell Westbrook has made this team look like. I'm looking at what the Lakers looked at last year. And we recall the Lakers last season with having Russell Westbrook hit in his first year here with the Lakers, it was not so good. It was not good at all. And that's exactly what now Clipper Nation is experiencing. Russell Westbrook is taking some bad shots. Russell Westbrook is not being the old Russell Westbrook that everyone just wants. Because it seems like every player in the Clippers and even Ty Lue at times is like, well, we just want Russ to be Russ. Okay, well, you want Russ to be Russ, but what is that? What exactly do you want Russ to be like? Do you want him to be Russ in 2017, Mr. Triple-Double? Do you want Russ in 2016 that helped Kevin Durant run away out of Oklahoma City? Which Russ do you want? Right now, the only Russ you're going to get a 15, 10, and 5 Russ. That's the Russell that you're going to get right now, a 15, 10, and 5, which is still very good in the league right now, but not good enough that fits with the Clipper roster. Russell Westbrook in his first two games, he got a total of 13 turnovers. Those turnovers were very crucial, especially knowing that you lost by 1 point on Friday night and you lost in overtime on Sunday night. You need to be able to take care of the ball. And now it seems like the Russell Westbrook problems are now becoming, formerly the Laker problems, are now the Clipper problems, okay? So it's Russell Westbrook maybe the key reason why the Clippers are not going to win anything? No, that's not the reason. He's maybe somewhere up there, but he's not the reason. The reason the Clippers are not going to win anything this year is because of themselves. They're the Clippers. I mean, what else do you expect? You know, it's horrible, and it's fascinating at times when you look at certain billboards, because I drive up here to the studio a few times out of the week, and I look at certain billboards right next to the freeway here on the 10th freeway in Los Angeles. There's we run this town, or we own this so-and-so, and it is horrible at times. It is horrible what is going on in Clipper land with Russell Westbrook now being a member of the Clippers, which is still kind of crazy for me to say that. It's still crazy. But another crazier thing that I'm going to say, it is when we return here on the breaks, I'm going to talk a little bit about a certain player in the NBA world who is maybe going to win the MVP this season. And it's not Jason Tatum. I was looking at some things earlier today, and it just kind of made me switch my mind. It made me realize that we got to appreciate certain players and looking at what they're doing out on the court, because what this man was doing last night was just... it was incredible, man. I've never seen a 7-footer do something like this. I've never seen it in my life. Never seen it. Not even Shaq. Not even Yao Ming. No, nobody. None of those guys. Not Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Not Bill Russell. Not nobody. Not Hakeem Olajuwon. I mean, Hakeem a little bit. But I'll let you know when we return here on These Are the Breaks.
Profanity Nation. A podcast for the fans, by the fans. Dive deep into the topics the other shows miss. Raw and uncensored.
And he's going to play team ball. His legacy is at stake.
Rare, hard-hitting interviews with players, coaches, and you, the super fans.
I'm not hating. I'm like, okay, cool. Good.
3 championships in 5 years. He's more than good, bro.
Profanity Nation. Listen live or subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. Powered by Jesse Brown of Keller Williams.
United One Protection Services. With over 30 years of experience, United One Protection Services has more expertise and knowledge than the other security companies combined. Residential, commercial, municipal, or institutional, United One Protection Services does more than just security. We protect your livelihood. United One Protection Services.
And we're back here on These Are the Breaks. Myself, Fredo Cervantes, here on this beautiful Tuesday afternoon in Los Angeles. And yes, right before we went to commercial break, and I was talking to you guys about a certain individual that just kind of watching him and seeing the way he plays the game just makes it look so effortless, where he's not even really working hard. He's just having fun out there. And at the end of the day, you know, as a player and as an athlete, you just want to have fun. You just want to have a lot of fun. Play with a smile. Play with a joy. And that's exactly what Nikola Jokic is doing, who was a 42nd pick in the 2014 NBA draft. The guy who's almost on the verge of seeking his 3rd MVP trophy in 3 years. He's currently averaging a triple-double. He is the 3rd person in NBA history to average a triple-double. And right now you look at, how and what kind of triple-double is he averaging right now? Well, he's averaging about 25 points, 15 rebounds, and 10 assists. On Sunday night, he had a huge win over the Los Angeles Clippers in Denver. You know, he knocked down 25 points, 14 rebounds, and about 13 assists. Those are big, huge numbers from a guy like Nikola Jokic, who, if you right now, you probably heard me say 42nd overall pick. What are you talking about? Yes, he was the 42nd overall pick in 2014. That 2014, if you guys recall, Andrew Wiggins was drafted number 1 overall pick. Guess who got drafted number 2? Jabari Parker. A lot of people might think, well, who the hell is Jabari Parker? Well, little do we know, Jabari Parker is still in the league right now. He's a bench warmer, I believe, somewhere in Milwaukee or something. And that's only about 9 years ago the draft was for that 2014. Then you had other guys like Joel Embiid. You had Marcus Smart, Julius Randle, Dante Exum. A lot of people are like, Dante Exum, I remember that guy. Yeah, Dante Exum was drafted by the Utah Jazz, thinking he might be the newest. You know, he was from Australia, and he was playing very good over there overseas. But he did not kind of change over to this side of town. And, you know, the way he was playing over there, that style of basketball did not fit for him in the NBA. So you saw a lot of players in that draft that were drafted before Nikola Jokic got drafted 42nd overall. And one of the guys that got drafted before him is his current teammate, Aaron Gordon. So Aaron Gordon was part of that draft and now is teammates with Nikola Jokic. And, you know, Nikola's only 28 years old right now. He's only 28. And the biggest question that I heard about him on Sunday night was, well, is he capable of winning an NBA championship with that franchise? A lot of people got to face that question. Like, you know, Chris Paul, everywhere he goes, is like, well, can he win a championship? Even Damian Lillard, Dame Time, who dropped 71 points on Sunday night. Also, he's like, well, I wish and I hope I can bring a championship to this city. Every player and every athlete have that same hope, have that same dream, and to possibly winning a championship for that city they're playing for. You know, Nikola Jokic, I honestly believe he is very much capable of winning one. You know, I didn't believe in Giannis Antetokounmpo a few years ago when he won his. He ended up proving me wrong. And that's the same reason why I feel that Nikola Jokic might be able to prove other people wrong. Because I certainly now believe in him, in what he's capable of doing. I have not seen a better passer, a big man like Nikola Jokic, who can pass the ball. He does no-look passes. He does alley-oop passes. He does behind-the-back passes. He's looking like a 7-footer Magic Johnson type, you know. There was other bigs around the league, maybe like the Gasol brothers, were two of the best big passes around that we've seen in the last 20-some years, you know. But you have not seen a guy like Nikola Jokic. And I felt so attached to him on Sunday night when I was watching him. And I'm just like, man, okay, I'm liking this guy more and more and more the more I see him play. It's unbelievable in what he was able to do, and especially for someone like him to get drafted 42nd overall, being so left behind. Because if we see his mugshot from the 2014 NBA draft, I mean, it looked like a guy from the McDonald's commercial who's just randomly walking around eating a cheeseburger, because there's multiple pictures of Nikola Jokic back then when he was just a little bit, I guess you can say, a little bit overweight. You know, he did not care about his nutrition. Because there was an interview that Jokic did at the end of last season, I believe it was, where he was just talking about his diet and how he treats his body now. He still eats crazy enough, but he is feeling a lot better, and that's the reason why he is, you know, pushing himself to the max level to possibly win a third MVP in a row. I do not remember the last NBA player to win 3 MVPs in a row. So someone out there, if you know that answer, put it on the comments box below, because I personally do not remember the last player to win MVP 3 years in a row. And I don't think Jordan ever did that either. So I might be wrong, but I don't think he did it. I don't think he did that. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and leave you guys off with that thought. I'm going to go ahead and take us to a quick commercial break. When we come back here on the breaks, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys some updates on what's happening in baseball, because baseball is now back in the picture. We also saw a fight with Fury and, you know, Jake Paul over the weekend. It was a pretty crazy fight. A lot of people are very upset in the outcome of the fight that happened in Saudi Arabia over there. So we're going to go ahead and talk a little bit about that and give you guys some extra thoughts on what may be coming up in the future here on These Are the Breaks.
Profanity Nation. A podcast for the fans, by the fans. Dive deep into the topics the other shows miss. Raw and uncensored.
And he's going to play team ball. His legacy is at stake.
Rare, hard-hitting interviews with players, coaches, and you, the super fans.
I'm not hating. I'm like, okay, cool. Good.
3 championships in 5 years. He's more than good, bro.
Profanity Nation. Listen live or subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. Powered by Jesse Brown of Keller Williams.
United One Protection Services. With over 30 years of experience, United One Protection Services has more expertise and knowledge than the other security companies combined. Residential, commercial, municipal, or institutional, United One Protection Services does more than just security. We protect your livelihood. United One Protection Services.
Yeah, we're back here on These Are the Breaks. Myself, Fredo Cervantes. And, you know, when we look at certain players, and we always see that players having attitudes. They have attitudes. They have this kind of ego that they've been growing up with. Ever since they maybe been playing little league. Many travel leagues and whatnot. But even when they get into the college level, they get some sort of ego. But there's certain players that don't go through that experience, but still have an ego. There's guys like Manny Machado, who is currently the third baseman for the San Diego Padres, who just signed an 11-year deal worth over $350 million extension with the San Diego Padres after he noticed that the market was changing. So let me rewind a little bit. 2 years ago, the San Diego Padres signed him to a $300 million contract. So you sign a 10-year deal 2 years ago. Now you see the market change, and now you put them under pressure knowing that your third year was a player option, and you threatened the team that if they don't give you the money that you're seeking right now prior to the beginning of the season, that you're going to consider walking away during free agency. That is the exact words that he said. And what did the Padres do? They panic. They totally panic. They were like, oh, no, we don't want you to leave. How much money do you want? You want $310 million? $350? Okay, here you go, sir. Here's your check. You're staying here. And that's exactly what the San Diego Padres did just yesterday to Manny Machado as he signed that $350 million contract extension to stay in San Diego. What that means is that San Diego's going to be a problem. They are going to be a big problem. You look at the players they just got. You got a Fernando Tatis Jr. who's coming off steroids. Anytime a player comes off something like that, they come up a little stronger the following year. Fernando Tatis seems like that guy who's only 24 years old and, was close to being the runner-up for the MVP last season and for the seasons before. But you also got another guy that you got, Xander Bogaerts, who you just signed, another third baseman from the Boston Red Sox, a world champion, an all-star. You add him to the team. You add other guys to the team. You got C.J. Cronenworth, who's still on your ball club, who's, oh my God, he's just spectacular. You got so much talent that you have surpassed the Los Angeles Dodgers in talent. You've surpassed the Dodgers. A lot of people never thought they would maybe reach the payroll that the Dodgers have had in the type of roster they had. The Dodgers have lost a few players, including one yesterday as they lost Gavin Lux, their starting shortstop, who's been in the league for about 4 years, and he was looking for this breakout year this year, and he was running to third base as he felt his knee come to a pop. And, of course, it was no contact. He was running on his own, and that injury took him down, which he was later carted off by the team trainer. And now they are kind of looking into the situation. Maybe he will be out with maybe tearing his meniscus. It seemed like something like that. Just speculating out there, that's what I'm thinking it might be. But a lot of people are saying that his season with the Dodgers in 2023 is over. Now the Dodgers got to look into some sort of trade piece, some sort of trade market. The Dodgers farm system is very good. They know how to draft players. They know how to develop players. And they certainly know how to trade for big-time players. We've seen the Dodgers do big moves in acquiring Max Scherzer. We've seen other moves in acquiring big names all the time. All the time. Even Manny Machado was a player they acquired 4 years ago during the trade deadline after walking over to the San Diego Padres. But the Dodgers always seem to go out for those guys. Look at Trey Turner last year. You look at Mookie Betts and the trade they did for Mookie Betts. So you can believe that the Dodgers might do something, but looking at the injuries, it seems like the Dodgers might want to wait till they get a full, clear picture of what they expect from Gavin Lux. All right. And to close off my thought, I've always been a big fan of this man, and I saw him not yesterday. I saw him when the Warriors were playing. The Warriors were playing the Minnesota Timberwolves a few days ago, and sitting courtside is two of the greatest baseball players to ever hit a baseball. Those two guys was Alex Rodriguez and Barry Bonds. I've always been a big fan of Barry Bonds. Love the man. He's an all-time home run leader. A lot of people don't want to give him his credit because of steroids, but he hit those freaking balls out of the freaking stadium. I mean, you got to give the man some credit for that, you know? So that's what it is. Barry Bonds, one of the greatest players of all time. LeBron James is crumbling down to maybe being out of the NBA. We'll see you guys next week on These Are the Breaks.